Hello and welcome to Autograzers, a show where three so-called car experts compete to find me the best car for the task I set. Unfortunately for them, I know sod all about cars. This episode promises to be an adrenaline-fueled ride as the team compete for the ultimate stunt driver. Our daring maniacs are Duncan.
Hello, I'm Duncan, and this week I did a lot of work on my car, including putting some new rims on my Vectra.
Ooh. We also have George.
Hello, I'm George. This week, no actual work on the car, but did get a build date for the GR Yaris.
Yeah,
I'm not going to buy it yet, but details.
And we also have John.
Hello. This week I put a big brake kit on my car and wheel spacers because I'm terrible.
Wait, why does that make you terrible?
You'll live to regret those.
me and John are both going big boy this week.
They're only 15 mil. There's nothing wild.
Oh, that's fine.
Is a brake kit just literally applying, like putting the brake mechanics into your car?
Well, no, it was upgrading the replacing with the existing ones with an upgrade. So I went from medium to massive.
He stopped hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel so bad about that because kind of need those brakes.
Yeah, but the calipers are bright yellow, mate. So
yeah,
Classy.
they're fairly obvious.
It's classy with black
why
colour.
not?
Are they aftermarket, or can you rob them off another bigger Mazda?
These are aftermarket. These are the petite racing genuine kit.
Ooh, so it's lovely 4 pots.
Yep, 4 pots, fully vented and vented discs, so that they actually suck air through them and cool and all that kind of jazz.
And my name is Tom. This week I did a very daring thing, which was I waited until my fuel gauge was all the way down and the little button came on, and I still waited a bit until I filled up with petrol. So that's my daring story this week.
You played Red Light Bingo.
Is that what it's called? Red Light Bingo?
Yeah, Red Light Bingo. Yeah, I once got 80 miles out of Red Light Bingo when I was on the way down to Cornwall one time.
Ooh.
That was my fuel tank's 60 litres and I filled up with 59.9 litres.
The game loses something when you have a little readout of how many miles to go. You can normally get a good 5 beyond the naught.
Yeah.
Unless it's my dad's car, which when it says naught, it turns out, as he discovered on the slip road in Bristol, it means
-5.
naught.
Naught means not. And this is Autograzers.
Yay!
So sorry guys, I misspoke. I said we are competing for the ultimate stunt driver. I meant to say we are competing to be the ultimate stunt driver.
But it does make more sense.
It does make more sense. Duncan, what do you want your stunt driver name to be? I'll tell you mine for an example. Instead of Evil KenWeevil, I'm going to go for Bad McRad.
Okay. In which case, instead of Baby Driver, I'm going to be Fogey Driver.
Okay, George, what would you go for your name?
White Van Man.
Okay, I'm going to jot all these down. White Van Man. And John, what's your stunt driver name?
Wowzer Crash.
Wowzer Crash. I really like that, actually. That sounds like...
It's been another one of those.
Really good. Point to you, John, already. So Duncan, George, and John. Lovely. Right. So as you may have guessed, we are going to do a big stunt. So you guys need to find a car that can do a massive jump. So do you ever see the monster truck rallies where they go up a ramp and they jump over loads of cars? You need to do that, but with a normal car.
Does it have to drive again afterwards?
To be honest, it's just the stunt that matters. If the car is wrecked afterwards, it's fine. Let me just have a look. Obviously, probably something light, something fast. I'm just going to rate it on first, second, and third in terms of who chooses the best one. And then each of you are going to try it. But the best one will get a D20.
Oh, no.
And we're going to roll for it. You know I like my dice. Second best one, D12. Third best one, D6. So I'll set a limit, and whoever has the better car has more chance of going over it. So without further ado, go on Auto Trader and find me your stunt car. And to add to the challenge, you must convince me, a person who knows nothing about cars, why it will be better for this jump.
What are our limits on this? Do we have a cost or anything like that?
No, go nuts.
Interesting. Okay.
Go nuts. This is a very fancy stunt show. People come from miles around to see it. You're risking your life, so you can spend some big bucks if you like. In our first round, we call Crack the Whip.
Ooh, this is a use case I've never previously pondered.
Right. Well, there you go. So wait, you've pondered the previous episode cases then? So like making a burger van out of a car?
Worryingly, funnily enough, with yet another old school friend, yes, I have.
Oh, okay then. Right. Well,
But settled on the individual in question, who will remain nameless, as a variety of Morris minors, which identifies him for certainly Duncan.
Yeah, no, I know who he is.
There's one of them's a van, and it's actually really cool. And the idea is to like have some hatches in the back, which he quite wants to make and drive around and sell burgers. I've got no interest in participating. I might buy one to test it, but
I mean, it's a good side business. Why not?
yeah, watching it.
It's one of those things like you sort of dream of, and then like you find one on Auto Trader for £100, and you're like, well, I could legitimately do this now. I mean, I don't know if any of you want to attempt doing this stunt jump thing after this show for real.
Jump
not.
Springfield Gorge.
Yeah, jump Springfield Gorge, and then crash like for 2 minutes, like just tumbling down.
There's some fantastic YouTube videos of in America, in perhaps the less cosmopolitan parts. It seems to be a bit of a sport where you just dig some huge jumps and people turn up in jeeps, and the whole contest is who can jump them the furthest. They rarely drive away again. They look horrible. It looks so painful.
I mean, that is a good way to, keep spine doctors in business, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to think about the spine doctors, the chiropractors.
They're not doctors, Tommy. It's chiropractors.
No.
Chiropractors. There's a thing, isn't there? Where chiropractors aren't real. They just make noises on people.
Anyone who wears a white coat is a legitimate doctor in my eyes.
I'll make a note of that.
I was going to say that's great to hear. When can I bill you?
Okay, well, I found my car.
Right.
Yeah, I'm tossing up between two at the moment.
Well, I wouldn't do that on camera, John.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
It's a family show.
This is a family show.
See, I found two. Like, I think there's one that would be the old school kind of cool ridiculousness. One that would just be mental, and then one that would actually probably be all right.
John, if it helps with your decision-making process, I am happy if you choose something really flashy. And if you choose flashy over impractical, I will consider giving you points, because I think part of a stunt show is the showmanship. So if it's a bit flashy, then I'll still consider it as first on my list of 3.
All right. Well, I've submitted my actual choice.
Yes, I have them all now.
Right. Well, let's
start
this round, Crack the Whip, and see what our stunt vehicles are. Who's going first?
I'm happy to.
Go for it then, John.
So John, aka Wowzer Crash, is going first. What is your vehicle to do the stint?
So I've gone super lightweight, rapid acceleration, because you need to get up to speed to get off the ramp and potentially make it to the other side. I've gone with aerofoils to try and make it glide if needs be. And I have gone a bit safe with a very sturdy roll cage frame.
Okay.
I don't know if that would have given it away to anyone, but here it is, the Aerial Atom 2-litre supercharged.
Whoa. Okay. This looks cool. I like this already.
Like I
Okay.
say, it's as you can see, it's a nice tubular chassis, so it's basically a roll cage straight off the bat. Wings front and back.
I'm assuming you'd flip the wings upside down.
Well,
Give you a bit of
depends what I need for the stunt, really.
You need to jump over a ramp over some cars. Will that help?
Yeah, I'd flip them upside down to get that extra lift.
Good. It looks
Get that extra
lightweight.
distance. Oh yes, very lightweight.
I'd love one of those.
Yeah, same here.
You know what this is? This is proof that the West Country is the best place in the world because that's where they build these. Somerset.
Somerset.
Only a crew kernel somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a shed near Crewkern.
It's a shed.
A guy I used to work with had one, and it was great when he came into work because you'd know if he brought it or not because it'd either be a pile of keys on his desk or a crash helmet and a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Because that's the security device on this, right? Is
Yeah.
you just take the wheel off and leave.
Mm-hmm. How powerful, how fast is the Aerial Atom?
Oh,
So
webcam.
it's not very
Yeah.
powerful, but it is very, very light.
It
So,
weighs
yeah.
nothing. What's it got in the specs? Does it say at the bottom?
It doesn't have specs on this.
Can't
Really?
go fast.
Yeah, that's very confusing.
You didn't feel like a nomad, John. Aerial nomad.
Very awesome.
Yeah, I
Supercharged.
couldn't see one, so I didn't. There you go. Just trying to pull it up from somewhere. Yes, agree to all the tracking cookies. So it's got 300 horsepower. It weighs nothing. Its 0 to 60 is 3.5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quick.
Yeah.
Yep. It's quick. It's lightweight. It has a roll cage for added safety. I like your thinking of turning the wings upside down to give you a bit more lift in the air. That's probably a thing. Yeah, good choice. Aerial Atom for John Wowzer Crash. Great. Who would like to go next?
George is going next because I nominated him too.
I'll have to go
Okay.
next.
George White Van Man, the man.
White Van Man, he's doing quite well for himself on this. I'd like to present something at the utter opposite end of the automotive spectrum to the Aerial Nomad, a BMW X6M. So, in the description, the owner claims whatever a stage 1 remap happens to be, it is now allegedly running over 720 horsepower, which is a lot.
A surprisingly large amount.
It's also it's four-wheel drive. Has lots of horsepower. It's a little bit taller, so theoretically it might have a bit of landing. So I reckon it's absolutely got the launch nailed with all that power. The problem is it probably weighs a lot. So once you're up to speed, though, it's going to go a long way. And theoretically, because it's an SUV, it's got a good bounce on the way down. But the real killer here is not only its performance. I really, really, really don't like these coupe cum SUV things.
Right? Can we just Can we just draw a line in the sand right now and just say that the whole crossover coupe SUV thing is an absolute time waste of everyone?
Why?
Look at it. It looks like a Nissan Duke.
Horrible.
So Tommy, in a few words, Tommy, this is pretty much a sister car to a 5 Series BMW, the really fast one. A normal 5 Series is a very nice car. However, if that's just a bit too plebeian for you, and you really want to show everyone else in your gated community that you have more money than they do, and you spend more on testosterone than they do, and yes, your Viagra pills are more expensive than theirs, this is what you buy. I'm sure there's some lovely, lovely people who own these. But if you're going to make a bet...
I'm sure they're not.
Yeah, it's...
Duncan says they're all horrible.
Yeah, if you own an X6, you're a horrible person. There's no
Oh dang!
There's no grey
area.
I'm pretty sure they take their Viagra as a suppository.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do you know what I learned yesterday? That Viagra is the brand name. It's not the actual name of the pill. which rocked my world a little bit, and it made me think of like Hoovers, because everyone associates, they call a vacuum cleaner a Hoover, but that's actually the brand. And I only know because I saw an implement and it had Viagra written across it, and I was very confused.
What kind of implement was this?
It was a hammer for testing reflexes.
Okay.
I mean, there is such
Not
thing as
using them.
Viagra hammer.
Apparently, there's a story about
Testing
wasn't it made in?
reflexes.
Wasn't it made? Weren't they made in Ireland for a while? And there was like a whole village that went bananas because it was leaking out.
Yeah, it was in the water.
What, Viagra?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a leak at the factory and it all ended up in the water.
I love the idea of just like loads of people in this. Did you say island?
Mm.
They're just sat on the bus and they're like, "Come on, it's your stop now. Get off." And they're like, "I'll wait till the next stop. It's fine."
One more time. Do the bus circuit.
Yeah. Long story short, then, Tommy, if it's wrecked, frankly, it's one less of the butt ugly things in the world.
Okay.
It should go a long way. No one will mourn it when it's gone. It should be impressive.
So, George, just quick question. What's the horsepower on your car?
Allegedly 720.
720 horsepower.
That's what the owner claims.
But it's still slower than mine.
Yeah.
By a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's got a fat ass.
Much more powerful, but yeah, a lot more weight to shift. Okay. Right, very good.
Doesn't know how heavy it is, unfortunately. Does it? No, it doesn't.
No, 14
It wouldn't
tons.
surprise me if you get off the ramp and it just falls down arse first.
Okay, so its gross vehicle weight. The minimum curb weight is 2.2 tons. Fully loaded is 3 tons.
It's definitely gross.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of stunt drivers will like empty out unnecessary bits and bobs and pieces and then like redistribute the weight. Like there's a lot of maths and physics involved. So you could probably strip out, all the seats, a good few bits and bobs on that car to help you out. But yeah.
Anything that would just...
Right. Well, I think I've seen everything I need to on the BMW. I was about to say BMW X6M. That'll be interesting on the stunt show. So Duncan, what's your name again? Duncan Fogey Driver.
No,
have you chosen a cart and mule?
I don't have an epithet. I'm just the Fogey Driver.
The Fogey Driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to win this one because I have chosen a 1975 Cadillac Eldorado with an 8.2 litre engine. That's like you're getting into like aircraft level of engine size there. Look how long it is.
Only 7 horsepower.
Yeah, probably, but it's not important, is it? So my thinking behind this, all right, is if you're coming off a ramp, and you're going to land again, you want some nice soft suspension to land on, because if you land on stiff suspension, it's going to snap your spine in two. And I can't think of anything that's got softer suspension than something like this, which is about 19 miles long.
You're just going to bend the frame. The suspension's going to do bugger all. It's just going to buckle in the middle.
No, it's going to be fine. It's like a boat. The bigger boat you're in, the safer you are from storms.
But not canals.
Being long help you with your jump necessarily?
Yeah, I'll basically act as like a bridge.
It's very red.
Well, we're not putting it on top of the cars to walk across it. We're trying to jump across a bunch of cars.
Duncan going first and making the bridge is the only way that George is going to get across.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now,
Mine what's the speed?
this is beautiful. I mean, look at this. It's got climate control. This is a convertible.
Are you like Storm from the X-Men? You can just control the weather.
Yeah, exactly. I can bring a nice wind behind me to help me across.
Oh yeah, to give you that extra bit of oomph.
Oh, it's got
the layman thinks that when you activate that, it just changes the in-car temperature. But no, being a soft top, it just changes the weather.
Changes the weather, yeah. It's got velour carpets as well. Look at this. Oh,
it's very flashy. I do like how big and red it is, and how like old timey it is as well.
Have you been on the Viagra again?
I am a fogey.
Oh, yeah.
So
It does have 234 horsepower, according to Wikipedia.
yeah, that's a decent amount.
Average build economy of 11.
It looks a bit heavier though, because like, was it John's was like 300 horsepower. That's 250.
This is made out of American. This is when the Americans were sending rockets to the moon. This is like space grade steel they're making this out of. It weighs nothing. It's lighter than John's car.
What do you think it's? What do you think it's curve
a lie.
weight is? Wiki at the moment.
Oh, it must be like 1,400 kilos at most.
And you think it's lighter than mine?
You reckon Duncan reckons 1,400. Any advances on 1,400?
I got 15.
I'd probably go for 3,000.
What,
If not more.
2,190 kilograms?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nothing. I could lift that.
200,
That's
200 horsepower to tow.
14.
That gives it to a power to weight
That's-
something less than a Fiesta.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. All right,
That's 3 times the weight of the Atom.
I'm not going to lie. It might take a slightly longer run up than the other boys. Okay, but the sight of this will be absolutely majestic sailing through the air.
No one would suspect that you were doing a stunt. 'cause-
No, exactly. I just think I was driving into the car park and it got lost.
It would be spectacular.
Oh, what was that Ranchero?
I just don't know how you can compensate for how long it is. Like, will it just will the ramp just have to be like?
What are you
John,
saying?
Get your mind out the gutter.
What are you saying? That being long doesn't mean you can do a long jump.
I'm just thinking like aerodynamics, streamlining.
Have you seen the
like,
Olympics? What do you mean aerodynamics? This is more aerodynamic than that bloody X6 is.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think with that, but yeah, I don't know. I would like to see it do the stunt. In all fairness, so and I think it looks great. So I think I've made my decision. So the winner of this is actually no. Let me start from the bottom up. So in place number 3, who is going to be given this D6 dice to do their jump. I'll explain more about the rules later. In third place is, George White Van Man with the BMW X6M. I think I quite like that you've gone for like, I guess you could call it a civilian car. I don't know how to put it, but it looks like someone's just driven from the parking garage
From their golf.
and they've just come into the show by accident. But yeah, I think it'll be quite fun. I just think it looks quite heavy, even though you can mod it a bit, and it's got the power, but it's just a bit heavy, and it's not very flashy. It's like the warm-up act almost. In second place, sorry, Duncan.
I've just noticed there's a key symbol on the side of the steering wheel, so that people who drive BMWs are informed as to where their key goes, because people who drive BMWs are not clever enough to work out where the key goes on a car.
I know that there's no actually. Yeah, it's a real problem, Duncan. Don't make fun.
Where does it go?
It doesn't look like there's a hole in there, so I think is it one of those ones where you walk in with a remote key and it just starts automatically.
Probably. I don't care enough.
Well, it comes third anyway. In second place is Duncan's Cadillac. So Duncan, you'll be getting a D12 dice to help you with your stunt later. I think it's cool. You could have some cool 50s music playing in the background as you do your stunt.
You know it's front-wheel drive?
Yeah, of course it is, because you want all the wheels like pulling you over the jump.
You want all the wheels going that way.
Sorry, hijacking Tommy. I didn't know that. I just assumed they're all rear-wheel drive, but no. Amazing. Sorry,
It's that
Tommy,
extra weight to keep the
No,
acceleration down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to see your I'm not going to say long beast. I would like to see your Cadillac Eldorado make that jump and just see if it goes like on top of the cars. And in first place is John, what was it? Wowzer Crash. John Wowzer Crash with the aerial Atom. It looks cool. It's flash. It's light. I think this has a really good chance of doing the jump. So well done, John. You win the first round. However, we need something to jump over. So for our next round, called Bottom of the Bucket, I need you to choose a car to jump over. I will nominate the best one for all of your stunts. basically it needs to be something a bit rubbish, a bit like people can like laugh at it as you jump over it, hoping that, again, like in monster truck jumps where they like land, they always like sort of smash the end of the last two cars. So when that gets smashed, people like cheer. Yeah, so something that everyone, like a vehicle that everyone hates, or that you know.
Oh, the BMW M6.
Yeah, there you go.
It's gonna be my joke. I was gonna pick that one, but now you've ruined it.
Oh, sorry, mate.
I knew there'd be some BMW bashing from you guys. So yeah, choose it, and whoever convinces me which car would go best underneath the amazing stunt wins. I'm not really up to scratch with what vehicles are like, you know, everyone hates, or, you know, are only rubbish people who are bad drive this car. So you really have to convince me on this one.
John, that was suspiciously quick.
I've got it.
It was the first thing I could think of.
I suspect I know what John's gone for.
I've got a whole skit lined up for this that I'm hoping Tom will enjoy.
Okay. Well, when you are all ready, then we shall go through it. Meanwhile, I need to find something. There we go.
Length. Yeah, there's a filter by length.
Is that filtered by length?
Minimum 14
Is it sponsored? Is it sponsored by Viagra?
George always ends up with one of those.
It's 14 meters long.
Is there a price limit on this one?
There's no price limit, but it has to be like a notoriously rubbish car. So
Okay.
if it looks a bit beaten up, that might be quite funny as well.
Okay.
But yeah, something, you know, I anticipate that the last one or two cars might get clipped as you jump over them.
Bear with me. I'm still looking.
No, that's all right.
I'm very pleased with what I've found.
So actually, no, I'll explain how this jump's going to work in a bit.
It better fit with my story, otherwise we're gonna have problems.
Oh, I've got it. Oh, I've got it.
Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong version. Oh, that's the wrong version.
This. Are we going for euphemisms here, or
I mean,
this episode is called "For Massive Stunts." So
for massive stunts, Viagra. Yeah.
Sponsored by.
we would love a sponsorship. Even
Yeah.
that one, that would be fine.
Works for Pele, so
Yeah. Hey, if it works for Pele, who's to argue?
yeah, exactly.
Who's Pele?
The footballer from Brazil.
I'm sorry, John, but even if you don't like football, you can't say who's Pele.
Fry,
like
I don't
saying-
have context.
That's like saying who's Stephen Fry or something like that.
What was it I saw him doing? Was it TikTok I saw him doing an advert for the other day that I was most
Who's
disturbed by?
Stephen Fry or Pele?
Stephen Fry.
I was going to say
okay.
because Pele advertises for Viagra,
That does
or at
sound
least he used to, so it would be
Right.
disturbing.
George, you're going first.
I'm happy to go first. Whilst we were discussing it, another person was taking a piss because they're very pleased because he says, "Oh, he's achieved colleague work. I've done something you've never done. You've managed with cars. I've owned them long enough and worn down a set of tyres from new to replacement."
Oh, that's impressive.
Which is like a milestone.
Yeah.
I'm quite like
Well done.
he's about your kind of interest level of cars, Tommy. This is quite pleased.
So he's pleased that he's worn down the wheels of tires.
He's trying to be rude that I waste money because I've never owned a car long enough to get towards that tyres.
Right. I don't know. I personally quite like to constantly change cars, so I think it's quite interesting trying out different cars and stuff. I hate replacing my tires. So is this your one, George?
Now, picture this. I know you might not wake up in the morning thinking, "My God, I hope I don't see a Hobby 700s." But just picture this. You're going on holiday somewhere nice. Let's say Cornwall. Everyone likes Cornwall. You're going down to Cornwall this summer, like the rest of the entire known universe will be, because they can't go abroad.
Yeah.
And you're weaving through the lanes. You're not going fast. You're just cruising, enjoying the view. And then suddenly you grind to an absolute halt, and you're doing 5 miles an hour. and you know you've got another like 100 miles to go, and the Hobby 700, and you're going to be following the Hobby 700 at 5 miles an hour for the rest of your life, and you try and get down there. Well, it's moving around. If you go back a few pictures, Duncan, just picture this. You know you're following, and one more, I think, and another one, and another one, and another one. There we go, and one forwards. So you're following this whilst the occupants are trying to drive it sufficiently steadily that the shit doesn't slosh out of the toilet.
Oh.
Why they're going so slowly. And there'll be nothing more in the world you want than a Hobby 700 dive off a cliff. I think joy will be brought to the world by seeing cars plow into the Hobby 700.
Okay, yeah.
Also, is that a 2.8 litre engine in it? I mean,
Yeah.
What's his performance? Please have performance.
I don't think it has performance on this. I don't think when people are shopping for motorhomes, performance is top of their list.
What does it weigh?
4,500 kilos. So it's about the only thing on Auto Trader that's heavier than your M6, George.
So it's 4.5 tons and has a 2.8 litre, presumably diesel engine.
It's 8 meters long.
It's a big boy.
That's Viagra for you.
That's true. Yeah.
Yay.
Sponsored
This episode
by.
was sponsored by Vic. Please use responsibly.
Please speak to your doctor.
Not while in the hobby.
Yeah, I like that it's 8 meters long. Now I'm picturing the jump where they're not like lined up next to each other, but they're actually just like lengthways.
So that has 100 horsepower.
Okay, maybe that can do the jump.
100 horsepower to move 4 tons.
I mean, that's probably why it drives so slowly, I guess.
That's a good point. I am actually thinking about this from the perspective of, we're at like a monster truck track. This is the type of vehicle you would see there.
Yeah, you would.
That the rednecks all live in. So
I don't know.
it would probably have
an online 0 to 60 calculator.
It would probably have rednecks on the roof of it with a barbecue or something going on. With
you could have like stunt people there as well, like pretending to be, doing a barbecue,
sat outside the awning,
jumping out the way last moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. That's quite a fun idea. People do get stuck behind. I don't know if it's specifically the Hobby 700, although I do love the name.
So the online 0 to 60 calculator calculates it should crack the 0 to 60 in 40.1 seconds.
Oh, that's about a year.
It'd probably crack it faster if you took the blind off the windscreen.
That is true. Although, to be fair, the driver's seat is fully rotated backwards, so they're probably steering with a rear view mirror. So.
I like the adjustment knobs give that seat a real look of surprise.
Yeah.
It's got a ladder. You can do like the Top Gear style car surfing from the top.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I like this one. George, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I'll go next this time.
Okay, go on then, Duncan. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus. Why have you graced our screen with such terror?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the car that everyone hates, even people who don't like cars. It's a PT Cruiser, but it's not just any PT Cruiser. It's a convertible PT Cruiser, which was likened to someone likened this to a dog taking a shit in its styling. And you can see why.
I had a friend of mine who wanted one of these. He actually tried to make me go and view it with him, and I refused.
Can you not see the squat, the bulldog squat that's going on back there?
I like the tasteful exhaust pipe.
Oh yeah, no, that's a twin exit, isn't it, on a single pipe? That's classy.
It's also 6 foot away from the back of the car.
Yeah.
So is it because the back tilts down a bit? It looks like a dog doing its business.
Doing its business.
I think the one you mean, Duncan, is the one that was based on an old SLK. The Crossfire.
You're right. I'm thinking of a Crossfire.
The Crossfire Coupe. We get a side profile. It does look like the side profile is exactly like a dog that's just hunched down and over.
Well, either way, the PT Cruiser is awful, and just deserves to.
I think that possibly has no redeeming. At least the Hobby 700 has some redeeming features.
We could live in it. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to drive it anywhere. Whereas the entire purpose of this, because it's a convertible, is that you drive it about when it's a nice day and ruin everyone else's life by making them look at your car.
So
It does seem unfair to passengers before they could hide, but the soft top really
Yeah,
displays them.
exactly.
Is a normal PT Cruiser only 2 doors?
You'd
No, I
hope
think
so.
there are 4-door ones. I'm pretty sure.
so
I can't say I've ever.
is this car notoriously bad because it's just ugly?
It's just ugly. Everyone thinks it's ugly. Everyone knows it's ugly.
Right.
The question of why was asked so many times with this car.
When this first released, it was given like car of the year, wasn't it? And then about a year later, everyone went, actually, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's
and
funny
then
that.
it just, yeah.
It's almost like car of the year is not an actual award that's given to cars that deserve it, but actually just an industry thing.
Yeah.
That, you pass a brown envelope along, you pay your dues, and you get ad-free advertising.
Must be called something like the Last like Last Jedi, or Syndrome, where people like it at first and then they go, actually, that wasn't that good. Like maybe even like the Star Wars Episode 1 of Cars.
Yeah, pretty much.
Comes
Can we
out,
just-
everyone's excited, and then a year later, actually, looking back,
Can we just respect the big boy induction kit that they've got on here? That's impressive. Look at that.
does that shoot rockets or something?
No, it takes air in, but I imagine it makes a noise while it does it.
There you go, Star Wars Syndrome.
Yeah.
Episode 1 Syndrome.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we've got a car that people get stuck behind. We've got a motorhome that people get stuck behind. A really ugly car to jump over. John, what have you chosen?
So I've gone with the Reliant Robin. I want you to picture the scene, right?
Yeah.
They announce the jump's going to happen. The ramp is there, but there are no cars. And then all of a sudden, a swarm of these come out of different directions, all handbraking and just rolling into a heap right under the ramp. Just as I then come flying in with my aerial atom for the big jump.
You know what? I can imagine because they're 3-wheeled cars that they like rock up underneath and then they just like tilt.
Yeah.
On their side.
Yeah, basically.
I
Have you ever
know
watched the
John
Top Gear clip?
John's car is very light. He's worried about not doing any damage to what he hits. So he's picked something he's guaranteed to flatten.
Mate, I'm not going to hit though. I'm going to be lucky if I land in the stadium.
To be fair, like you're not going to hit this anyway because it's so small that like jumping over one is. I could probably jump over one of these, let alone in a car.
I pay good money to see the Eldorado land on that.
Well,
I mean, it would just flatten it, wouldn't it? That would be funny. That would be like Monty Python, like.
yeah, it'll really break apart. It'll just go to pieces when you clip the last one on the way down.
I'd pay to see that.
So
We can't use licensed content, can we?
No, but it's all right.
I was going to say, have you ever seen these race? Because it is hilarious. The dedicated race season for these is just madness. It's just
This is the facelift
massive
version.
blokes. Yeah, it's all massive blokes in a roll with roll cages, and then whenever they get to a corner, they all just roll over, and then they just rock themselves from side to side until the car's back on its wheels, and then off they go again.
It is basically a canoe with a bike stuck in the bottom of it.
Yeah. I've got to say, I don't know why 3-wheel cars are hilarious. They just intrinsically are. And
They're rubbish.
Yeah, I do like the perspective, and it's a little bit ugly, but it's a little bit charming as well because it's got 3 wheels. I like it's called Reliant Robin as well. That for some reason that's like a stage name as part of your stunt show. So I'm just going to quickly go over it. We have the Hobby 700, what people got stuck behind. So they'd love to see that get clipped on its way down. We have the Chrysler PT Cruiser, which looks like a dog doing its business. And we also have the Reliant Robin. I'm sorry, John, you're on fire today. You win with the Reliant Robin. I love the hilarious imagery of just all these Reliant Robins coming out of nowhere, probably tilting on their side, or people like rocking them until they tilt on their side. So, yep, John, you win again. So now, time to do our stunt. What I'm going to do, the way this is going to work is that John won, so John's going to get a D20, and Duncan's got a D12, and George has got D3. I'm going to roll a D10, And this will be the number of Reliant Robins that we're going to line up underneath your stunt jump. So obviously, John's got an advantage with a D20, much higher chance of rolling a higher number. Good luck, George. You've got a D6, so hopefully whatever I roll on this D10 is going to be less than 6 for you. Okay, ready? So let's roll John's first. So, John, you've got 4. So your car's only going to be able to make 4. So sorry about that.
I hate
wow.
RNG.
Okay, look, I am not lying. I am genuinely
RNG.
not lying. You all came up with a 4.
That's all right. I'm happy with that.
So even though, John, you had the most chance of getting like 20, yep, you're a 4. George, you're a 4. Duncan, you're a 4.
I've got to be honest. Out of the 3 of us, I've done my best there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me roll a d10, and hopefully it's going to be less than 4. Otherwise, this will be a very entertaining show. It's a 5.
Damn it.
So, right, let me start with John. So, John, you're in the aerial atom. You're revving up. Crowd are going wild. You punch it. You go up the ramp. You're soaring up there. Your car's light. You got the roll cage on, and you slam into the 5th car.
And you're immediately dead.
Boom. You've got a roll cage, John, so you're fine.
No, he's not. It's not a roll cage.
It's like
just
a little roll
tubular
cage.
construction. No, it's not
Yeah.
a roll cage.
Yeah, no, it's got the hoop band, hasn't it?
Yeah, but
From,
you,
like F1
you have
and
to
that.
wear a helmet. You're basically a bike.
I mean,
You
I
have
can
to wear a helmet in any race car with a roll cage.
because you
No.
don't have a roof, John. I can just imagine you like flying out, like so. You crash into the 5th car, and then you physically fly out over it, do a roll, and you go like that,
Superman style.
Superman style. So you recover quite nicely.
No capes.
George, you go into intensive care straight afterwards. But you
Unrelated.
drove quite a modern car, so you're okay. You had loads of airbags. Like I'm sure the BMW has loads of safety features.
I feel like this is being stacked against me somewhat.
So
And it's got physics inside.
Duncan, talk me through your incident in your Cadillac Eldorado. What
Okay,
happened?
all right, so-
what is the damage?
I'm about a mile. I'm about a mile back. All right, starting my run because I got to get up the speed first. Get up the speed, hit the ramp, get loads of air. Flying through the air with the greatest of ease. That old man and his Cadillac trapeze. And I slam down to the ground, bounce off the 5th Robin Reliant, and make the ramp. So it actually bounces off when I make the ramp because it's so heavy. And the suspension is so soft, I just bounce.
So you do bounce, but you bounce from the car because your car's so long. It just goes like straight on top of it. It kind of bends over the 5th car, back around, and your suspension that you love so much flips your car 180 degrees. And because it's a Cadillac and there's no roof, you are crushed. And you die tragically. They have to
I'm
close.
a stuntman,
You see,
and I look the coolest doing it. So
in
You look
in
cool.
my head,
You go down in legend.
in my head, what Tom said happened, except for the fact that at peak height, Duncan came out because of the lack of roof, and all of that happened below. At which point, as he fell and it sandwiched back up, it ate him.
No. What happened is, as I was at top height, I leapt out of the car, deployed a parachute, and then floated down to the ground.
But you
onto the end
weren't
of the
high
ramp.
enough, so the parachute just caught fire as the car crashed on you, and you were like engulfed in a parachute and flames.
And then got eaten by the car.
This is a conspiracy.
You
and I will
died
not stand for it.
very tragically and painfully in the fire that was your parachute.
Yeah, but everyone remembers Evil KenWeevil because he died doing what he loves. Nobody
Exactly.
remembers Bob, who did a jump in a parking.
They were
garage
like,
once.
Oh, you remembered him. You just told us about him.
No, I made him up. Bricked you.
But everyone goes, "Oh, I hope Wowzer Crash and White Van Man are okay." And that Foggy driver, oh, poor Foggy.
Hey, you before this episode or something? Have I done something?
so because everything is on the internet, I have scoured it. I have found a video of someone, a slightly newer Cadillac than Duncan's, unfortunately, but driving it off a ramp.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it. Hold on.
Did the exact same thing happen that we described?
It's not quite, but it's fascinating to watch. Watch its suspension as it takes off, because its suspension is so soft it barely.
While we watch Duncan's action replay of his stunt, sorry you all failed at that. Even though John, you had every chance of not failing that.
Yeah. Much like my own life.
Let's just imagine our disenfranchised crowd, or I don't know, some people might love it when things go wrong at a stunt show. Going to the gift shop afterwards, after the events, find me from our final round, our eBay Spectacular, an appropriate gift shop item to describe what happened.
Doesn't matter what I picked, does it? Because
No, I think
I'm calling shenanigans on this episode. All right,
don't. It was fine. It's just that you didn't choose a modern car with like safety aspects like George.
You didn't say anything about safety. You said we can mod it, so I put like a massive. I'm not. No, we're not having. I'm not arguing with you live on the podcast. All right.
Okay. Sorry, Flamey Foggy.
What do you think? What do you think of the jump? What do you think of the jump? Like, look at his wheels come up when it launches off the ramp.
Yeah.
It's like his wheels come up. His wheels come up, but his nose doesn't.
Safe as houses. That. Look at that.
It looks.
Yeah.
It's quite uncomfortable.
I'm not getting in your house if that's what you call safe.
Yeah,
safe now.
Right, gift shop guys. Go to eBay. Find me a gift shop to describe how our show went down.
Is there a price limit?
No. We spared no expense in this show. I mean, I think
we spared no expense.
I think insurance is going to cost a lot next show we put on.
You forgot about my life insurance. That's going to be a payout you're going to have to go for that.
Yeah. We'll have to fill in all sorts of forms next time. But it's okay. At least we'll see a comeback from White Van Man and Wowzer Crash. I mean, Wowzer Crash, you live up to your name.
That I do.
I'm just trying to think of like suggestions you can have for the gift shop. I'm thinking like a diorama of flame and mayhem.
I've got mine.
You got yours. Cool.
Yeah.
I've got so many. This has been a gold mine for just what the is that?
It always is on eBay with you. It's almost like your eBay feed is particularly themed in certain directions.
I've logged out and gone incognito mode this time, and it's still just...
inconvenient mode.
Yeah, just keeps like pressing back when you don't mean to.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Misses off every second letter of when you're typing in the search bar.
Or like not letting you type A on your keyboard.
You can't hit enter ever.
Yeah. Actually, I legitimately have a laptop where J, the key J, has broken off. But funnily enough, you really don't need to use J a lot. So it's still good.
So you never type my name in there. Right.
I mean... I'll just call you by your last name. Mr.
He calls you Sugar instead.
Wowzer man.
Wowzer man. Yeah, Wowzer Crash. You did a flip over the last car and everything.
Okay, I've got everyone.
Okay, let's see who wants to go first.
I'll go first because I haven't gone first yet.
Okay, what's in the gift shop, Duncan?
So, bear in mind the theme of the evening, or the theme of what's just happened.
Yep. Our spectacular stunt show of mayhem.
The spectacular stunt show, which ended with me in flames in a parachute on the floor. I've chosen a Denzel Washington DVD, Man on Fire from 2009. Because knowing you lot, you'll probably write me out of my own death and put Denzel Washington in my place or something. Yeah, there we go.
I love the idea of going to a stunt show and then going, oh, you know what? That really made me want to go watch Denzel Washington's Man on Fire.
This product has passed our meticulous quality checks and is guaranteed to be in great condition, unlike the Stuntman from a previous show.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I mean, I'm tempted to say that wins it now, but I should really hear out George and John.
I think we're going to struggle to top that, I think.
Okay. John, you're next.
Yep. I've gone with. I mean, look at that mouth. Look at that mouth.
Just like Duncan before he busted the
Yeah. But yeah, I've got with the Lego figurine
you got the
Stuntman
parachute
because
behind him as well.
you can sell 9. You can buy them. They're so cheap. You can buy them and then just set them on fire and toss them around.
Yeah, give it to the kids with a match. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I like that's very cute. You would actually see that in a stunt show gift shop.
And then sell like hotcakes, right? The kids, the traumatized kids, after having watched a man die,
they can pretend.
quick cheap toy to try and distract from what happened.
Go home and recreate his flaming death yourself.
I do find it quite appropriate that Ghost Rider is there in the number 3 slot on that top.
Your eBay, John. The internet knows you're coming, I think.
Yep.
That's because of my OnlyFans account, George.
I love it. Lego dude. Good choice. Good choice. His face. George, what have you selected for our stunt show gift shop as people are leaving disheartened? What?
What the shit?
What is that?
I didn't know these were a thing until Weevil threw them up, and they were so creepy. And this is not what I was after, but I thought they're so creepy.
What the hell did you search for?
You don't want to know.
I thought, the biggest bit of Duncan they're realistically going to find after like
just like fused into the concrete underneath.
I mean, imagine if you found someone that had a house full of these. Is that not the creepiest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, so is it meant to be like a coat hanger?
No, it's Tom. Read the description. It says fake finger model for hand manicure nail art training display.
Oh yeah, but if you turned it the other way and nailed it to a wall, it could be a good coat hanger.
That would be the creepiest thing in the world.
Not a coat hanger, sorry, a coat hook is what I meant.
That's for Lawrence Wellenbowen and you coming out. That is, Tommy.
Please, someone has to do that in the house. I'm not doing it in mine,
creepy
but someone
coat
has
hook.
to. Look, imagine walking in and seeing a bunch of, and you'd have to get some better hands if you could kind of get a bit of a going on for.
You could just paint all the nails different colours and it'll look quite
something about this one is setting off something in my disgust centre of my brain, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. I think it's for like hollow around the fingernail. I don't. Looks like it's coming out of the finger. Do you know what I mean? Like it looks like
that scene. It's like that scene in The Fly where he pulls off his fingernail.
Oh yeah, yeah. It looks like a tiny sausage coming out the end of like a worm's mouth or something.
These would be fun to get and stick on tables around the office. Like we have a big open plan office with free unassigned seating, so you could just walk around and just balance them. So as people walk up to them, there's just a creepy finger hanging on their desk,
under the edge of a table, so that they don't know this is there until they're too late.
Do you know, like Halloween, when you get people around and you do like a thing where you get them to like blindfold themselves and feel jelly and go, "Oh, it's brains!" Like these would be good, like to hang your coats on.
Why is it advertised with coffee in the background as well? 100% a replica Café de Brazil.
Café de Brazil.
George, these are creeping me out. So can we
They're horrible.
Can we come off the
Really
screen?
Horrible.
Look at the tiny sausage coming out of this one. It's weird.
So
sorry.
We have the creepy finger that's like hooked. We have the Denzel Washington DVD, Man on Fire, and we have the Lego Evel Knievel. Hands down, the winner is Denzel Washington Blu-ray, Man on Fire. Just the idea of even the Blu-rays being in a gift shop, saying Man on Fire at a stunt convention. I love it. It wins, and what I like about it is people might watch it, Duncan, and they might think it's like they based this on the events that we saw.
Documentary, yeah.
They made the film really quickly, and yeah.
I mean, if I was played by Denzel Washington in a documentary in my life, I'd be very happy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'd be happier to be Denzel Washington.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, he's
Unless I'm on
dreamy.
fire.
Great. Well done, Duncan. You win the spectacular round. Sorry it all ended in tragedy. I guess the real stunt champion is John, because even though he didn't make it, he still did a cool flip over the last car. So well done, John. And that concludes our episode. I hope you all go home with something to take away from this. My lesson from this episode is never try and do a stunt ever.
No stunts.
No stunts. Kids, don't try this at home.
Hold on, I'm going to do a stunt now.
Don't do it.
He's trying his knees.
Stunts.
Cool.
What you've gone wrong there?
I thought you were going to jump
nearly
off the
died.
bed, but
No, I've got neighbours. I can't jump off the bed.
But stunts, but not too hard.
Not too aggressive.
Not as you know them.
No.
No. Right. Thanks everyone for watching, listening, whatever.
Stop
Stop the
It's hammer
episode.
time.
Because this is episode 11 of our 12-episode series, and that means that we have one episode left, and that next week is not going to be controlled by Tommy in any way, shape, or form.
No.
It is going to be controlled by us three.
Oh no.
Us
Now,
three. I'm
I
pointing
will
at
be the one
the little
engulfed
boxes.
in flames.
And Tommy will be having to take part and choose cars, and we will be the ones judging. So you might regret this week, Nap Tommy.
Yeah, I know you'll have a vendetta against me, but that's fine. I can take it. I know now that we've done 11 episodes of this, I know a thing or two about cars. So just you wait, Henry Higgins. Just you wait. My Fair Lady, good film.
Tom, look at this.
Yeah, what? Ah, it's your little cat. Oh, bless.
Snoozy cat.
Very snoozy cat. There's the thing I like about owning a black cat too. It's just like there's just like a black splodge in the background whenever you're like on your phone or on FaceTime.
It's a nightmare when I get up in the night. I like go to the toilet. I come back in and I'm like, oh, is that the t-shirt I took off, or is that the cat that I'm about to stand on?
I'm quite pleased that I don't have like a long set of stairs anymore, that I live in a flat, because the number of times the cat would just sleep on the second stair down and I would almost trip over and break my neck in the middle of the night. So that's quite a nice thing not to almost die every time I wake up and go downstairs. My brother and I, when we were young, we came up with a character who like lived alone in his like parents' basement, and he spoke like, he's like, gotta live life by the dice. 7, I kill.
I feel attacked.
I think to win the
you
eBay
feel
round
attacked.
is
Just because you died.
yeah. Don't take it personally. I just murdered you